Let's be honest, when you hear the words artificial intelligence, your mind probably jumps straight to a thinking, feeling robot from some sci-fi movie. It's a cool image for sure, but it's a million miles away from the AI that's already woven into our lives. So, let's pull back the curtain and separate the Hollywood hype from the reality.
So this is the big one, right? This is the question that fuels all the excitement and, frankly, a lot of the fear. Can these things actually think or feel like we do?
And the answer is a simple, straightforward no. A big, fat no. And look, that's not just an opinion, it's the absolute foundation for understanding what AI really is. If you get this one thing right, everything else we're about to talk about will make a whole lot more sense.
Okay, let's just dive right in and tackle that first massive myth head on. This whole idea that an AI has an inner world that's anything like ours. This right here gets to the absolute heart of the confusion. We can't help but talk about AI like it's a person. We say it wants to win a game or it decided to show you an ad. But the reality? There are no feelings, no desires, no awareness. It's just following a recipe, an algorithm that a human being wrote to get a job done.
So if it's not thinking, what on earth is it doing? Well, it's basically a three-step dance. First, it gobbles up a truly insane amount of data, way more than a human brain could ever handle. Then, it sifts through all that information and finds patterns. And finally, it uses those patterns to make a prediction. I love this analogy. Think of it like a librarian on hyperdrive who's read every single book ever written. It can instantly find every connection and pattern, but it has zero understanding of the stories themselves.
And this nails the core concept. An AI isn't born smart, it's built. Its intelligence is a direct result of how much data we feed it. It's really that simple. The more books our super librarian reads, the better it gets at finding those connections and predicting what's on the next page.
Okay, so where does this powerful pattern-matching machine actually show up in your life? It's not hiding in some lab somewhere. You're using it all day, every day. And a lot of the time, you probably don't even notice.
Every single time you type something into a search engine, scroll through your social media feed, ask your map app for the quickest way home, or see a movie recommendation pop up, yep, that's AI. In every case, it's analyzing your behavior and the behavior of millions of other people to predict what you want to see or buy or do next.
And this is why it's so important to get this stuff. It's not just about convenience. These systems, working away in the background, are actively shaping our world. They're influencing the information we get, the things we buy, and even our opinions. You know, understanding how they work isn't really optional anymore.
Which leads us perfectly into our second big myth. Because AI can feel so powerful and, invisible, we tend to see it in extremes. It's either this magical force that's going to solve all of humanity's problems, or it's a pure danger that's going to lead to our doom. But the truth is, it's a lot simpler than that. And honestly, it's way more empowering. AI isn't some autonomous being with its own secret plans. It's a tool. Period. Just like a hammer. A hammer isn't good or evil, it's just a hammer. You can use it to build a school or to break a window. The impact depends entirely on the person holding it. The outcome of any AI system really just comes down to three human choices. How was it designed? What data did we train it on? And maybe most importantly, what job did we tell it to do? So in the end, whether an AI helps or harms is just a reflection of our own goals. And that idea of human goals brings us to myth number 3, and this one is probably the most personal for a lot of us. It's that fear that AI is going to make all human workers obsolete. This slide really breaks it down perfectly. AI is an absolute champion at repetitive work and analyzing huge piles of data. But where does it fall completely flat? All the stuff that makes us human. Creativity, empathy, making a tough ethical call. An AI can scan thousands of medical images to find problems, for sure, but it can't sit with a patient and explain the diagnosis with compassion. And this is the key takeaway, the phrase to remember. AI automates tasks, not jobs. Think about it. Most jobs are made up of a whole bunch of different tasks. AI is getting really good at handling some of those, especially the boring ones. But it's much more likely to change our jobs, to act as a kind of powerful assistant, rather than just eliminate them altogether.
So, if the real danger isn't some robot uprising out of a movie, what's the actual risk we should be paying attention to? Well, the answer might surprise you.
And here it is. This is the single most important idea in this entire explainer. The biggest risk we face with AI isn't the AI, it's us.
It's humans not taking the time to understand how this powerful technology actually works.
You see, when we don't understand how it works, we fall into one of two traps. We either trust it too much, just blindly following whatever it says without a second thought, or we fear it too much, and we miss out on using it to solve some really big problems. Both of those extremes keep us from using it safely and responsibly. So in the end, the future of AI isn't really a story about what machines are going to do. It's a story about the choices that we are going to make. Understanding this tool is the crucial first step. So the only real question left is, what are we going to build with it?